All right, back live tonight here on In Focus. The mayor of the uMngeni Local Municipality is accusing KwaZulu-Natal ANC of desperation to get him out of the way. Chris Pappas has recently been grabbing headlines for all the wrong reasons. It's alleged that uMngeni tourism, led by his fiancé Jean-Pierre Prinsloo, was awarded a 100,000 rands grant by the uMngeni Council, but the DA in KwaZulu-Natal has labelled the claim as high school gossip with no merit. The party is also challenging former provincial leader Sizwe Mchunu to produce evidence of nepotism against Mayor Pappas. For more on this, we're joined by the former KwaZulu-Natal DA leader, now with the ANC, Sizwe Mchunu. Good to have you, and thank you very much for coming on today. So we spoke to the mayor yesterday, and this was, of course, because the Office of the Public Protector having confirmed that they did receive a complaint. They were assessing the complaint, but it has certainly been noted. What response have they given you so far as the complaint that you have put to them?
Thabo, yeah, greetings to you and your viewers at home. I can indeed confirm that I have written to the Office of the Public Protector. I have since received correspondence from their side, basically acknowledging receipt of the complaint, and a follow-up correspondence which basically indicated their intention to investigate the matter. I can also confirm to you that a meeting between myself and the Office of the Protector has been confirmed to take place tomorrow.
How long have you been in possession of this information?
Look, the information came recently, and it was a kind of information that one thought that a person who claims to be holier than thou in Chris Pappas would immediately jump into it and put it into correct perspective. Now, when such allegations were made, and there was absolute silence from the side of Chris Pappas, his party, and the municipality, then it became an issue of concern to me.
So let's talk about what he says. One, he says the alleged Growth Spurt Consultancy is a fairly new company that only got registered recently. So it could not have been involved at that time with the particular event that was taking place. So there was no way, one, that particular company would have been awarded a contract because it did not exist at that time. That's one. Two, he says that the payment of 100,000 was actually a combination of amounts backdating to other projects that they were engaged in with not just one company, but with a number of service providers who were engaging the municipality at the time. So let's start there and maybe just give us clarity on that.
Look, Thabo, I'm not sure whether one could say Chris Pappas' responses to this issue are a deliberate attempt to shy away from the actual content and the actual matter, or is it's sheer naivety? Because the issue here is here's uMngeni Tourism, an NPO, which at the time was chaired by his fiancé, and then they get a grant of a whopping 100,000 rands, which is a precedent that has not existed before. Because we are aware that these grants have been given by uMngeni Municipality even before Chris was there. But what is it that has made uMngeni Tourism now to be the only entity that qualifies for 100,000 rands, which has never happened before? That's one. But two is to say there has not been an issue about whether or not GSC had done any work for uMngeni Municipality previously. But the issue has been to say the very same uMngeni tourism under the chairpersonship of Jean-Pierre Prinsloo was then awarded a consulting contract to uMngeni tourism and to do the festive lighting. And at the time when they were afforded this, there's no proof that they were registered as a company. In essence, what you then find is that the company was only registered this year. But I haven't heard anybody disputing, Chris Pappas himself, or Jean-Pierre Prinsloo, or uMngeni Municipality, or the DA, disputing the fact that the JSC company owned by Chris Pappas' fiancé was actually doing the work with uMngeni Tourism even before they even got registered as a company.
So you are saying you've got a trail of evidence that points to GSC having been engaged with the uMngeni Tourism, because they're saying that company didn't exist. Saying so it could not, you can't even begin to talk about it because it didn't exist right up until early this year.
That's the question then, because the question then says, has GSC done any work before it was even officially registered? Because the allegations out there, which is what I've put in the letter, is that they were consulted by uMngeni Tourism, an NPO, to do their work to do some work for them. Now, how does a company get afforded an opportunity to do work or consult for a company that has received a grant from the municipality even long before they even get registered? But the issue really that has got to be accounted or answered here, Thabo, which I've listened to quite a number of interviews that Chris Pappas has done. He has not really answered the question that says, in awarding the 100,000 rands grant to uMngeni Tourism at the time when it was chaired by his fiancé.
Yeah.
He
says he declared that. He says he declared that to council. It was or that relationship at least was a known fact to council.
He declared the relationship, but that doesn't answer the question about why this precedent. Why were the only ones who have since qualified for a 100,000 rands grant when previously all others have received only a 10,000 rands grant?
Yeah. So the explanation that says it's not a 100,000 rands grant, but it's an accumulation of many other interventions or projects that they would have been engaged with. The Festival of Lights being one of them. I think he said the portion for the Festival of Lights, I don't know, it's of what, something close to 30,000, but they were not the only sponsor. There were other sponsors as well, but which would mean the 70,000 rands would have been for other projects. So it's not one grant, but because they were engaging for 12 months, it was backdated. Basically, that's what he's saying.
Look, I'm not sure whether the one can say that holds any water. The fact of the matter is that there has been, and there still are, other entities operating within uMngeni, advocating for the same cause as uMngeni Tourism, that have not been granted such an amount. And why this time around? Why this particular precedent is a sufficient basis on which they can say these ones deserved 100,000 rands and the rest of the other ones deserved only 10,000 rands.
So where you're sitting, you're confident that in your meeting tomorrow as you present to the public protector is going to be convinced that there is a case here of spousal nepotism, but also possibly even of corruption?
Look, from where I'm sitting, I am convinced that there is a case for Chris Pappas and his municipality to answer to, and it is that very same attitude that I'm taking to the public protector tomorrow. The public protector's office would obviously then have to make their own assessment as to whether or not there is a case to be investigated. I cannot sitting where I am seated, prejudge or sort of pre-assume what the public protector's resolution on the matter would be.
I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on. That is Sizwe Mchunu, the man who's brought the complaint against the mayor of uMngeni Municipality, Chris Pappas. Right.